the 7 layers of the sky. Light extending across 7 layers. 7 steps ascending from earth to eternity. Tonight, I will show you those steps. But there's no rush, because Ülgen's story is not a story to be told by climbing the steps hastily. It requires patience. It requires peace. And, perhaps, most of all, it requires the courage to lift your head and look up. Now, since you have found that courage, let's begin. The summit of the 7th sky. Now lean back and imagine the sky. But not the sky you see every day, remember? Not the blue expanse adorned with clouds. Not the dark canvas sprinkled with stars. Something deeper, something older. The sky behind the sky. The heaven hidden behind the skies. Because when you look up, all you can see is just the first layer. The lowest sky. The threshold standing between earth and eternity. The ancient Turks were masters of this. When they lifted their heads and looked up, they didn't see a blue veil enveloping the sky. They saw layers, 7 layers, each one higher, brighter, more sacred than the one before. And at the very top, on the 7th level, there was a throne made of white light, and on that throne sat Ülgen, the light giver, the creator, the protector. Now, perhaps you wonder, who is this Ülgen? The name itself carries weight in the ancient language. Ülgen. Some say it means supreme, some say creator, and some simply say the one who is high. But names, as you know, are never just sounds. Names are doors, and tonight we will pass through that door. Slowly, carefully, respectfully. Think of this, if you will. Once upon a time, long ago, when time itself was young, the universe was not in balance. Tengri, that eternal sky god, ruled above, but he was alone, and gods, as you know, cannot tolerate loneliness. Loneliness tires them too, saddens them too, makes them feel incomplete too. And so, Tengri created. Not from nothing, remember, from himself, from his own essence, from his own light. And the first of his children, the eldest, the brightest, was Ülgen. He was not born of flesh, he was born of pure intention. He was not born of earth, he was born of sky. He was born, he existed as light itself. Now, stop for a moment. Breathe. A deep, slow breath. Fill your chest with air. Hold it. Count to 3 inside. 1, 2, 3. And release. Slowly. Like this. Because Ülgen's story is like breath. You take it in, hold it, release it. And with each breath, you rise a little higher. Let me tell you about the 7 skies. Because without understanding what these skies are, you cannot fully understand Ülgen. Without feeling them, you cannot feel his presence. The first sky, the lowest one, closest to earth, this is the home of clouds. We see birds flying here, winds blow here, rain falls upon us from here. This sky is the sky you see, bright blue by day, pitch black by night. But this is only the beginning, only the threshold, only the step before the door. The second sky, a bit higher, a bit clearer, this is the nest of the stars. Those countless bright points shining in the darkness of night, they all hang in the second sky. The old shamans would say that each star is a soul, the soul of a deceased ancestor. They watch us from above, they protect us. But stars are silent. They speak with their light, not with words. They tell their stories with their brilliance. They whisper their secrets, with their vibrations. Now, the third sky, this is where things begin to change. The third sky is no longer visible to the eye. It is not physical, it is spiritual. This is the homeland of white-winged souls, of beings you call angels, but known by different names in the Turkish language, conceived in different forms. They go up and down, carry messages, convey prayers, bring supplications to Ülgen's throne. In the third sky, time flows differently. A day could be a year on Earth, or a year a day. Or perhaps the concept of time becomes completely meaningless, because there is only the moment, the eternal moment, the never-ending present. The fourth sky, even higher, even more mysterious, this is the home of the moon and sun. Yes, that sun you see every day, that moon you watch every night, they actually reside in the fourth sky. They are not just light-giving stones, they are living beings. Ata, Kün Ata, children of Ülgen. They illuminate the sky in their Father's name, serve him, carry out his will. The fifth sky. This is now too distant to be described with words. In the fifth sky, there are no sounds, but there is music. There are no images, but there are colorful colors. There are no boundaries, but there are shapes. This is the sky of paradoxes. This is where Ülgen's 9 sons and 9 daughters live. 18 beings, each a power, each a duty, each a reflection, a manifestation, an implementation of their father Ülgen's will. The sixth sky, the sky of silence. But this silence is not emptiness. On the contrary, it is so full that sound cannot fit inside. It is so rich that words become impoverished beside it. In the sixth sky, Ülgen's closest helpers live. Their names have been forgotten because they are beyond names. They serve only with their presence, speak only with their light. And then, the seventh sky, the highest level, the summit, the peak. This is Ülgen's throne. This is where light shines brightest and is its source. This is where Ülgen created us humans. Only the greatest shamans can reach the seventh sky, and even then, only if Ülgen permits, because the seventh sky is sacred ground. It is not a place where ordinary souls can tread. That is the home of gods. That is the throne of eternity. Now, imagine that you too are rising toward the sky, but not with your body, with your soul, because the body is quite heavy. The body is earth, but the soul is light. The soul is lighter than air, freer than wind, faster than thought. You're passing through the first sky. Clouds are passing by you, light, moist, soft. They touch you, greet you. Pass, they say quietly. Rise, higher still. You arrive at the second sky. Stars are shining around you. They're so close you could almost reach out and touch them. But you don't touch. You just look, and they smile at you. They direct their light toward you. They give a greeting. They make a celebration. In the third sky, white-winged souls notice you. They're a bit surprised, because it's not often seen for a mortal soul to come this far. But then they understand. You're just a visitor, here only for one night, and they allow you to pass. Welcome, they say, but don't stay. Rise. Our Father is waiting for you. In the fourth sky, Ata and Kün Ata see you. They are great beings, powerful beings, but gentle. Not much left, says Ata. His voice rings like a silver bell. Just 3 more layers. Kün Ata smiles, a warm golden smile. Our Father is waiting for you, he says. Don't hurry, but don't forget either. In the fifth sky, the 18 siblings greet you. They surround you, but without suffocating, without squeezing. Like an embrace, but light, almost imperceptible. Our sibling, they say, because we all were born of the same light. You below, we above, but we are all children of Ülgen. In the sixth sky, silence envelops you, but it's not frightening. It's peaceful, so peaceful that you want to cry. But no tears come, because here there is no sadness, only deep, pure, uncorrupted peace. And you draw this peace into yourself, let it seep into every cell, You want to keep it forever. And then you step into the seventh sky. At first, you can't see anything. Only light. White, bright, all-encompassing light. Your eyes try to adjust, slowly, and then you begin to see. There is a throne, but not of stone, not marble, not gold either, of light, pure, concentrated light. On that throne, a being sits. You cannot see him fully. He is so bright that your eyes burn, but you feel him. You feel warmth. You feel love. You feel power. Ülgen. He turns to you and speaks, but he doesn't move his mouth. His voice comes from everywhere, from inside you, outside you, from above, from below. Welcome, my child, he says. It was a long journey. You climbed 7 skies, but you're here, and I was waiting for you. You want to speak, to thank him, to ask questions, to say something, but you cannot choose the right words. Your throat feels knotted, or perhaps words are no longer necessary, because Ülgen already knows everything. Your thoughts, your feelings, every secret in your heart. I know, he says. I know why you came. You're seeking peace, you're seeking light, you're seeking answers, and I will give you all of them. But first, listen. Just listen. Because tonight, I will tell you a story. My story. The story of light. And you listen. Because there's nothing else to do. There's nothing else you want to do. You just want to be here. In Ülgen's presence. In the light. In the 7th sky. If this story you're listening to brings you peace, if this ascension to heaven does you good, you can subscribe to this channel if you wish. Turkish mythology is not content frequently encountered on the YouTube platform, and we at Wolvian are working heart and soul to bring you together with Turkish mythology. With these stories you're listening to, we walk the same path together. Every night, we will be here with a new story. May Ülgen, our Father, protect you. Now, let's return to Ülgen's story, because he has begun to speak, and his words flow like honey, soft as silk, precious as gold. In the beginning, says Ülgen, there was only thought, Kara's thought, and from that thought, Tengri was born. My father, Tengri, sky god, master of the universe. Your eyes are closed, but you don't need your eyes to see. Ülgen's words create images in your mind. You see blue infinity, not emptiness, but a filled emptiness, full of potential, full of possibility. Tengri was powerful, Ülgen continues, infinitely powerful, but he was alone. And loneliness melts even gods, weakens them too. That's why Tengri created children, 9 sons, 9 daughters, and I was the first son. There's no pride in his voice. He's just stating a fact, as if saying I was the first son is like saying the sun rises from the east. Just as it is. He gave me the light, says Ülgen. He gave me the power to create. He gave me goodness. And he gave me a task. Ensure the universe remains in balance. Don't let darkness become too powerful, but don't destroy it either, because darkness is necessary as light. He pauses here, a long pause. You breathe, deep, slow. That golden light filling your chest brings coolness, brings peace. My siblings were born, Ülgen continues, one by one, each with a different power, a different task. Kün Ata to illuminate the nights, Kün Ata to warm the days, Kök Tengri to manage the atmosphere, Yel Tengri to control the winds. Each one, sometimes a part of Tengri's will, a hand, a voice. When he speaks of his siblings, there's warmth in his voice, there's love, perhaps longing too, because they're far away now, each busy with their own task, working in their own layer of sky. But my most important sibling, says Ülgen, and there's a change in his voice, a slight sadness, a slight heaviness. My most precious sibling to me was Erlik, Erlik. When you hear that name, something trembles inside you, because you know Erlik. You've heard his story, the Lord of Darkness, the ruler of the underworld. Erlik was the second son, says Ülgen. I was light, he was darkness. I was above, he was below. I created, he took. But we were brothers, and I loved him. I still love him. These words are important, very important, because they show that Ülgen doesn't see Erlik as an enemy, doesn't see him as a rival, only sees him as a brother. A different brother, an opposite brother, but still a brother. Erlik descended below, says Ülgen. Of his own will. Tengri didn't banish him. No, Erlik chose. He chose the underworld. He chose darkness. He chose death. Because he knew that someone had to undertake that task. Someone had to deal with the dead. Someone had to stay in darkness to maintain the balance. In his words, there's respect for Erlik. Appreciation. Because Ülgen understands. He understands that Erlik's task is not easy. Living in light, living in peace is easy. But living in darkness, in loneliness, in the midst of death, requires courage, requires sacrifice. Erlik and I, says Ülgen, we are two faces of the same coin. Without one, the other is meaningless. Light is not light without darkness. It is only the absence of absence. But with darkness, then light finds its true meaning, becomes bright, becomes precious, becomes necessary. Deep words, philosophical words. But they don't tire you, because Ülgen's voice flows like a river. It carries you. You just listen, flow, drift. Years passed, says Ülgen. Thousands of years, millions of years. Or perhaps they never passed, because here, in the seventh sky, the concept of time is different. Time is not a river. Time is an ocean, and we are islands in that ocean. We don't move, we just exist. Think, if you can think, of a timeless existence. No beginning, no end, only now. Eternal now. What would that be like? Serene, boring, or perhaps peaceful? I sat on my throne, says Ülgen, and watched. From above, from the seventh sky, I watched everything. I watched the world. I watched humans. They were born, lived, died. Generations came, generations went. But I remained, always remained. There's loneliness in his voice, but no complaint. Just someone who has accepted a truth. Living eternally also means remaining eternally alone, because everything around you changes, goes, disappears, but you remain. But I wasn't alone, he says then, and a warmth appears in his voice. I had my children, 9 sons, 9 daughters. They lived with me, in the 7th sky, the 6th sky, the 5th sky. Each one was a part of me, an extension of me. Now, let me tell you about Ülgen's children, because without knowing them, you cannot fully know Ülgen. They are not just children, they are powers, duties, manifestations. The first son, Ata, god of the moon, silver light, guardian of the night. He softens the darkness. Night is less frightening with him, less lonely. Ata guides people. In the darkness of night, to lost travelers, to hopeless hearts, he offers a light. The second son, Kün Ata, god of the sun, golden light, master of the day. He warms the world, illuminates it, gives life. Without him, plants don't live, animals don't live, humans don't live. Kün Ata is generous. Every morning, without tiring, without complaining, he rises and gives his light equally to everyone, to the poor, to the rich, to the good, to the bad. The third son, Yayik Han, god of lightning, like Thor's counterpart in Turkish mythology. He lives in the clouds, creates thunder, but not only to destroy. Yayik also cleanses, disperses stagnant, stuffy air. brings rain, and rain brings fertility. The fourth son, his name is forgotten, or perhaps never spoken. He is the silent son. His task is to count the stars. Yes, to count. Every night he counts the billions of stars in the sky. Why? Because each star is a soul, and his task is to ensure no soul is lost, to track them all, to protect them all. Fifth son, sixth son, seventh son. Each has a task. But we won't count them all tonight, because the night is long but not infinite, and you need to sleep, need to rest. Now, let's talk about the daughters, because daughters are quite different from sons. Not softer, remember, but more gentle, more delicate, more compassionate. The first daughter, Umay. Yes, that Umay, goddess of motherhood. Ülgen's daughter, his favorite child, some say, because Umay, like her father, only loves. Unconditionally, infinitely loves. Umay descended to earth, didn't stay in the seventh sky, because her task was below, with mothers, with babies, with nests. The second daughter, mother of water spirits. Her name is rarely spoken, but her presence is felt everywhere, in rivers, in lakes, in fountains. She keeps water clean, keeps water fertile, ensures water is not just H2O, but life. The third daughter, wind goddess. Her breath is the wind. When it blows gently, she is smiling. When a storm breaks, she is crying. But why does she cry? Perhaps she sees the pain on earth. Perhaps she sees what humans do to each other. And she grieves. The other daughters, they exist too. Each one an element, a task, a protection. But if we tried to tell about all of them, it would be morning. And when morning comes, the spell is broken. So just know that Ülgen has 18 children, and each one is working for you, standing watch for you, serving for you. My children, says Ülgen, and in his voice is that universal tone of fathers, pride, love, worry, all mixed. They are my pride, my joy, but at the same time my burden, because I'm responsible for them. To raise them, guide them, protect them is my task. Think of a father, what he feels when raising his child. He feels hope. He feels fear. He feels curiosity. Will he become a good person? Will he find the right path? Ülgen feels the same things. Even if he's a god, even if he's a father, the feelings are the same. I told Ata, Ülgen narrates, you will illuminate the nights, but don't be too bright, because night is time for rest. People should be able to sleep in your light. They shouldn't be afraid, but their eyes shouldn't be dazzled either. And Ata listened. He shines with soft light, silver, calm, peaceful, in the darkness of night, like a consolation. I told Kün Ata, Ülgen continues, you will illuminate the days. Be strong, be bright, but don't be merciless, because people need warmth too, but too much heat kills them. And Kün Ata also listened. He is strong but balanced, gentle in warm springs, strong in hot summers, but always not to kill, but to give life. To each of my children I gave a lesson, says Ülgen. Balance. Balance in everything. Too much light blinds. Too much darkness suffocates. Too much love weakens. Too much harshness breaks. But the middle, that's where it's closest to perfect. Balance. This word is at the center of Ülgen's philosophy. Everything is about balance. Yin and yang. Light and darkness, life and death. Both necessary. Both sacred. Now, let's pause here for a bit. Breathe. Deep, peaceful breath. Imagine yourself in Ülgen's presence, in the seventh sky, on that white throne. Light surrounds you. Warm, but not burning. Bright, but not hurting your eyes. Just surrounding, protecting, giving love. If your eyes want to close, let them close. Don't force yourself. This story will be here, when you're asleep, when you're awake. Like Umay's story, Ülgen's story is also infinite. There's no need to hurry. Humans, says Ülgen, changing the subject. They are interesting creatures. Tengri created them, from mud, from earth, but breathed soul into them. And that soul resembles our soul, a piece of our light. Humans, us, you and me. Ülgen is watching us, from above, from the seventh sky. He sees everything about us, our goodness, our badness, our love, our hate. And what does he do? Judge? Punish? No, says Ülgen, as if he's read your thoughts. I don't judge, because judging is Erlik's job. He judges the dead. I watch the living. I just watch. And when necessary, I help. Help. How does Ülgen help? With miracles? With lightning? No, in subtler ways. A person, Ülgen narrates. When lost in darkness, I send him a star, a bright star. That star shows the way. The person doesn't know that star is from me, just thinks he's lucky, but it's not luck, it's my gift. A person, he continues. When sick, very sick, face to face with death, I send him a dream. In the dream, he sees that he will recover. He finds hope. And hope is sometimes stronger than medicine. Hope heals. A person, he says. When he loses his loved one, when in pain, I send him a sign. Maybe a butterfly, maybe a bird, maybe just a feeling of warmth. And that person understands that his loved one still exists somewhere. Maybe not here, but somewhere. And this knowledge eases the pain. This is how Ülgen helps. Quietly, unostentatiously, with miracles that don't look like miracles, with small but meaningful gestures. Some, says Ülgen, pray to me. Shamans, especially. They beat drums, dance, enter a trance state, and then they rise. Their souls rise. They climb the seven skies. They come here to my presence. Shamans, they are mediators. Bridges between humans and gods. They can live in both worlds, in the physical world and in the spiritual world. When a shaman comes here, Ülgen narrates, I greet him. Welcome, I say. What do you want? And the shaman conveys people's wishes. One asks for prayers for a sick child. One wants fertility. One just wants peace. And I, says Ülgen, do what I can. I can't fulfill every wish, because some things shouldn't be changed. Some pains are necessary. Some losses are inevitable. But I do what I can. I send a light. I send hope. I send relief. Prayers. They rise up, mix with smoke, reach the sky. And Ülgen hears each one, evaluates each one, responds to each one as much as possible. But some, says Ülgen, and sadness appears in his voice, don't pray to me. They forget me. They no longer believe in the old gods. They find new gods, new names, new rituals. And I slowly begin to fade from memories. These words are painful, because being forgotten is hard even for gods. Perhaps especially hard for gods, because they are fed by faith. People's faith keeps them strong, keeps them alive. But, says Ülgen, and there's a resistance in his voice, I don't completely fade, because light never completely fades. Even if my name is forgotten, light remains, sky remains, sun remains, moon remains, and in them I remain. Powerful words, hopeful words, because they show that Ülgen is not just a name. He is a principle, an energy, a reality. And realities are not forgotten. They are just remembered in different ways. Tonight, says Ülgen, you remembered me. You came here. You climbed the seven skies. You came to my presence. And I am grateful. Truly grateful. A god is thanking you. Isn't that strange? But at the same time, beautiful. Because it shows that Ülgen is not arrogant, not proud. He is just a being who likes to be appreciated, just like us. I want to give you a gift, says Ülgen, for you to take with you when you leave. a gift. You get excited. A God's gift. What could it be? Gold? Power? Knowledge? Light, says Ülgen simply. I will give you light, but not physical light. Inner light. I will place a small light inside your soul, a spark, and that spark will never go out. He reaches out his hand, or at least reaches out something that looks like a hand, bright, white, pure. He touches you, touches your chest, where your heart is, and you feel it, a warmth, a light, spreading inside you, flowing through your veins, seeping into your cells, and something changes. You don't know exactly what, but it changes. Your insides feel lighter, brighter, more hopeful. This light, says Ülgen, will stay with you, always. In dark moments, it will guide you. In hopeless moments, it will give you strength. In lonely moments, it will accompany you. My gift to you. Your eyes well up. Do you want to cry? To laugh? Both. Because this moment is very special, very sacred. A God touched you. A God gave you a gift. A God loved you. Now, says Ülgen, it's time to return, time to descend below. Because here, in the seventh sky, mortals cannot stay long. This place doesn't belong to you. Not yet. One day, maybe, but not now. You understand. Yes, you must. Return. Return to your body. Return to your world. But now you're different. Now you have Ülgen's light inside you. Go, says Ülgen. But don't forget, I am here, always here, in the seventh sky, waiting for you, watching you, loving you, and you slowly return, slowly descend. Sixth sky, fifth sky, fourth, third, second, first. At each layer, a farewell. At each layer, a thank you. And finally, you return to your body. Lying in your bed, quietly breathing. Your eyes are still closed, but now different. Now you have a light inside you. Ülgen's light. Part 2. The birth of light. Now, let me tell you about Ülgen's birth, because every being has a beginning, even God's, or at least a moment of beginning, a first awareness, first breath, first thought. How was Ülgen born? This question is not easy, because birth is a physical event. But Ülgen is not physical. He is spiritual, energetic, principled. But still, there is a story told by old shamans. Listen, but don't strain yourself. If your thoughts wander, let them wander. Because this story is like a lullaby for you. Its purpose is to put you to sleep, not to wake you. A very long time ago, before time itself was a concept, there was only Tengri, in the infinite blue of the sky, alone, quietly existing. But Tengri knew that loneliness poisons eternity. Loneliness tires even gods, makes them feel incomplete. And so, one day, or perhaps the concept of day didn't even exist yet, Tengri thought. Just thought. And his thought was so powerful that it became matter, became energy, became being. The first thought was about light. Let there be light, said Tengri. But he didn't just say it, he felt it. Deep, sincere, felt it with every particle of his being. And that feeling worked into the fabric of the universe, crystallized, took form. And Ülgen was born. But birth was not as you know it. No baby crying, no umbilical cord, no blood. Just one moment he wasn't there, then one moment he was. One moment there was only Tengri, then there were two beings, Father and Son, Creator and created, Source and manifestation. What was Ülgen's first moment like? Try to imagine this. To exist for the first time, to be aware for the first time, to think for the first time, I exist. The first thing I felt, Ülgen would recount years later, was light, only light. Light everywhere. But that light was me. I was light. Light was me. We weren't separate. We were the same. Think, being made of light, only light. No solid body, no flesh, no bone, only vibration, only energy, only pure, concentrated light. Then, Ülgen would continue, I felt a Tengri, my father. He was bigger than me, much bigger, infinitely big. But at the same time, I was a part of him. I was inside him, he was inside me. Separate but same, different but one. Father and son relationship, but the divine version. No physical bonds, but energy bonds, spiritual bonds. Such bonds that no distance can break them, no time can weaken them. Tengri looked at his newborn son, and was pleased, because Ülgen was perfect, bright, pure, powerful, exactly as Tengri had imagined. My son, said Tengri. His voice was like thunder, but full of love, full of pride. You are my first creation, my first son, and I will give you a great task. Ülgen listened. He was still very young, still very new, but his capacity to understand was limitless, because he was born of divine mind. Knowledge was given to him. It didn't need to be learned. The universe, said Tengri, must be in balance. I am the sky. I am in the heights. But only height is not balanced. There must also be low, but I haven't created the low yet. I will create it later. For now, you will represent height. You will represent light. You will represent goodness. Ülgen nodded. Or, since he had no head, he confirmed with his entire being. I understand, Father. I will be light. I will be goodness. I will be height. But be careful, Tengri warned. His voice had become serious. Light can bring arrogance. Power can be misused. You are powerful. Very powerful. But power also brings responsibility. Responsibility. This word was imprinted into Ülgen's being. He wasn't created just to exist. He was created for a purpose, for a task, and that task wasn't light. I will give you a throne, said Tengri, in the seventh sky, in the highest place. From there, you will see everything. You will watch everything, and when necessary, you will intervene. But intervene carefully, because every intervention creates a wave, and waves cannot be controlled. The seventh sky. That's when Tengri created the 7 layers, 7 skies, each one higher, finer, more spiritual than the one before. And at the very top, on the 7th level, he established a throne for Ülgen, a throne of light, white, pure, flawless. Ülgen sat on that throne, for the first time, and felt the power, the height, the responsibility. He was no longer just Ülgen. He was the light giver, the creator, the protector. Now, said Tengri, I won't leave you alone. I will give you siblings, 9 brothers, 9 sisters, each with a different power, a different task, and all of you will work together. You will maintain the balance of the universe. And Tengri continued creating. The second son was born. His name hadn't been given yet, but he would be darkness, Ülgen's opposite, his balance, because light is meaningless without darkness. But that story will wait for another time. For now, focus on Ülgen, because he, newly seated on his throne, is looking down. And what does he see? Nothing exists yet. The world hasn't been created yet. Humans don't exist yet. Animals, plants, rivers, mountains, none of them exist. Only emptiness. Emptiness full of potential. Emptiness full of possibility. Father, said Ülgen, what should we create? Tengri smiled. Or did the energy version of smiling. Not we, my son, you. You will create. I gave you power. Now use that power. Create. Whatever you want. This was a great responsibility. A great freedom, Ülgen thought, long and hard. What should he create? What is needed? What does the universe deserve? First, said Ülgen, I must create light, physical light, because right now only I am light. But this is not enough. The universe must be filled with light. Every corner must be bright. And Ülgen reached out his hand, or sent out an extension of his energy, and created light. Billions of stars, each one a source of light, each one a resistance against darkness. Then, said Ülgen, I must create the sun and moon, because stars are beautiful but distant. Humans, they haven't been created yet but will be, will need close light. Sun for day, moon for night. And Ülgen created two great lights, the sun golden and powerful, the moon silver and gentle, both perfect, both necessary. But then he noticed a problem. Father, he said, if the sun always shines, how will there be night? If the moon is always visible, how will there be day? Tengri thought. You're right, he said. A rhythm is necessary, a cycle. The sun must shine at certain hours. The moon must appear at certain hours. And this rhythm must never be broken, because rhythm is the foundation of life. And thus night and day were created. The cycle began. The sun rises, travels across the sky, sets. The moon rises, waxes, wanes, disappears, is reborn. It repeats forever. Ülgen watched his work and was pleased, but he wasn't finished yet. More things needed to be created. More things needed to be organized, protected. Now, said Tengri, your siblings will come. Prepare them. Teach them their tasks. Teach them love, because you are the eldest. You are the leader. And siblings will look to you. They will take you as an example. Being a leader. This is not easy, because a leader must always be strong, always knowledgeable, must always make the right decisions, and mistakes are unforgivable. Ülgen accepted this responsibility. He had no other choice. He was the eldest son. He was the first creation. He had to be the leader. Years passed, or perhaps at that stage of time the concept of year didn't exist yet. But time passed, and siblings began to be born, one by one, each one a different color, a different tone, a different energy. Ata was born, silver light, gentle, calm, quiet. Ülgen embraced him, or wrapped around him with the energy version. Welcome, my brother, he said. You will be the guardian of nights. You will soften the darkness. You will guide lost souls. Ata nodded. He hadn't learned to speak yet, but he understood. The task was clear. It was imprinted on his heart. Kün Ata was born. Golden light. Strong, bright, warm. Ülgen welcomed him. Welcome, my brother, he said. You will be the master of days. You will warm the world. You will give life. But be careful. Don't be too hot, because excessive heat kills. Kün Ata understood. He had to learn to control his power. He had to be balanced, always balanced. The other siblings were also born. Yayik, master of lightning. The wind goddess, gentle-breathed. The water spirit, fertility-giving. The earth spirit, solid. They came one by one, and Ülgen welcomed each one, taught each one their task, taught each one love. We are a family, Ülgen would say to them. We are connected to each other. If one of us is weak, we are all weak. If one of us is strong, we are all strong. That's why, love each other, help each other, protect each other. Because we are nothing alone, but together, we are everything. These words were imprinted on the siblings' hearts. They became a family, not just siblings, a team, a whole. And Ülgen, their leader, their eldest, their guide. But then everything changed, because he came. Erlik, the second son, but very different, very dark, very other. When Erlik was born, the sky trembled. Stars went out for a moment, then lit up again. But now, something was different. Balance had been lost, or perhaps a new balance had begun. Ülgen felt his new brother, but didn't go to him immediately, because he was afraid. He was afraid for the first time. Erlik's energy was very different, very dangerous. But Tengri commanded. "Go," he said. "Greet your brother. He too, like you, is my son. He too, like you, is part of this universe. Go and embrace him." Ülgen obeyed. He went to Erlik and saw him for the first time. Erlik was darkness, but not just darkness. He was also depth, mystery, the unknown. His eyes were like abysses. Those who looked into them would fall and never come out again. "Hello," said Ülgen, his voice trembling. "I am Ülgen, your older brother." Erlik looked at him long and hard, then spoke. His voice was deep, very deep, as if it came from underground. "I am Erlik," he said, "and I am your opposite." Opposite. This word emphasized the truth. Ülgen light, Erlik darkness. Ülgen above, Erlik below. Ülgen life, Erlik death. What kind of brotherhood could exist between them? But Ülgen tried. "We are brothers," he said. "We may be opposites, but still we are family, and families love each other, help each other." Erlik smiled, but his smile wasn't joyful. It was full of pain, sad. "Can you love me?" he asked. "The Dark One, the bringer of death, the spreader of fear?" Ülgen hesitated. To be honest, he wasn't sure. Could he love Erlik? He was so different, so foreign. But then he remembered Tengri's words. Balance. Everything must be in balance. And he understood. Erlik was necessary, just like himself. Without each other, neither was complete. "Yes," said Ülgen finally. "I can love you, because you are my brother, and brotherhood is unconditional love." Erlik was surprised. He didn't expect this. Perhaps he expected rejection, exclusion. But to find love, this was surprising. "Thank you," said Erlik, and in his voice for the first time there was a softness, a fragility. "I will descend below, to the underworld. That is my place. But don't forget, big brother, we are still brothers. You above, me below. You in light, me in darkness. But still, we are connected." And Erlik descended below. Slowly, from the sky, from earth to the underworld, to the dark earth, to the deep underworld. That became his kingdom. There he established his throne. There he began to receive the dead. Ülgen watched him, watched his departing brother, and felt an emptiness inside, a loss, because Erlik had gone, and they could never be as close as before. But at the same time he also felt relief, because balance had been established, above and below, light and darkness, life and death. Everything had fallen into place. "Now," said Tengri, "the universe is ready. It's time to create humans." Human. This new word meant a new responsibility, because humans are not like gods. They are fragile, mortal, easily harmed, and they need to be protected. "Will I create humans?" asked Ülgen. "No," said Tengri. "I will create them, but you will protect them. You will watch them. You will help them when necessary, because humans will be my favorite creations, and you entrust what you love most to the one you trust most." Ülgen bowed his head, or did the energy version of showing respect. "I understand, Father. I will protect humans. I will do my best." And Tengri created humans, from mud, from earth, but breathed into them a part of his own soul, and humans came alive, breathed, spoke, thought. Ülgen watched them from above, from the seventh sky, and felt a love, deep paternal love. These small, fragile creatures were worth protecting, worth loving. I will never leave them alone, said Ülgen. Night and day I will watch. I will follow their every step, and when necessary, I will intervene. And thus Ülgen's task began. The light giver also became the protector, the watcher, the guide. Now, let's pause here. Because we've told a lot, we've given a lot of information, and information can be tiring. So let's take a breath. Deep, peaceful breath. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself next to Ülgen's throne, in the seventh sky. Light surrounds you, warm, soft, peaceful, and Ülgen is beside you, sitting quietly, watching you. You're doing well, he says. You're listening to the story. You're understanding. And that's enough. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be here, with me, in the light. And you are there, in peace, in security, in love. Part 3. The 18 siblings night is advancing. Stars have taken their places. The moon is slowly drifting across the sky. And you are still here, still listening, still rising. Now, let's talk about Ülgen's children. 18 siblings. 9 sons, 9 daughters. Each one a power. Each one a task. Each one an extension of Ülgen's will, because Ülgen couldn't remain alone. Just like his father Tengri, he too couldn't bear loneliness, and he created children. But creating, here, carries a different meaning. Because Ülgen didn't take a spouse. There was no physical union. His children were born of his energy, of his will, of his need. One day, Ülgen recounts, I was sitting on my throne. I was looking down at earth, and I saw humans, so many needs, so many prayers, and I realized I couldn't do it alone. I needed help, I needed hands, I needed eyes. And so, Ülgen thought, concentrated, gathered his energy, and began to create. But this time, what he created wasn't a star, wasn't the sun. What he created were beings. Conscious, thinking, feeling beings. First, Ata was born. You already know him, Silver Light, guardian of the night. But now, let me tell you more about him. When Ata was born, his first words were, Father, where am I? His voice rang like a bell. Clear, clean, peaceful. You are in the fourth sky, said Ülgen. This is your home. From here, you will illuminate the nights. Every night you will rise. You will journey across the sky, and you will reflect your light to the earth. But Father, said Ata, will I be the same every night? The same brightness every night? Ülgen smiled. No, my son, you will change. Some nights you will be full. You will completely illuminate the sky. Some nights you will be a thin crescent. You will give only a hint of light. And some nights you will completely disappear. You won't be visible in the sky. Ata was surprised. Why? Why will I disappear? Because, said Ülgen, a cycle is necessary. Everything must have a rhythm. Growing, shrinking, disappearing, being reborn. This is the essence of life. This is the breath of the universe. You will represent this breath. And Ata understood. He wasn't just a light source. He was a symbol, a teaching, a reminder. Life is full of cycles. Sometimes full, sometimes empty. Sometimes bright, sometimes dark. And this is normal. This is natural. This is beautiful. You have another task, said Ülgen. Humans will measure time by looking at you. Your cycle will be their calendar. Months will be named according to you. Festivals will be organized according to your phase. You won't just illuminate. You will also bring order. Ata nodded. The task was heavy, but he was ready. I will do my best, Father. I won't leave people halfway. The second child, Kün Ata, god of the sun. When he was born, the seventh sky lit up. such brightness that even Ülgen had to squint, or the energy version of his eyes. "My son," said Ülgen, "you are powerful, very powerful, but you must control your power, because too much power destroys." Kün Ata felt his energy, boiling, bubbling, wanting to explode energy. "How will I control it, father?" he asked. "Balance," said Ülgen. He used that word again. "Everything in balance. You will rise gently in the mornings. Let people wake to your light, but not be blinded. Toward noon you will strengthen. At your zenith you will be brightest. Then slowly you will weaken. In the evening you will set gently. Every day the same cycle. Never tiring, never complaining." "But father," said Kün Ata, "won't this be boring? The same thing every day?" Ülgen thought. "No," he said finally, "because every day is different. People are different. Seasons are different. Some days you will stay longer in the sky. Summer days. Some days you will stay shorter. Winter days. And this variety will keep you alive." Kün Ata accepted, and since that day he rises every day, sets every day, never falters, never forgets, because he is reliable, he is constant, he is humanity's greatest friend, the third child, a daughter. Her name is Umay, but not that Umay, another Umay, or perhaps the same Umay but another manifestation, because Umay is everywhere. Umay is infinite. When this Umay was born, a softness came to the seventh sky, a warmth, motherhood energy. Ülgen saw his daughter and his heart filled, because daughters are special to fathers, to be protected, to be loved. "My daughter," said Ülgen, "you will descend below, to earth. That is your place of duty." Umay was surprised. "But father, I want to stay with you, in the seventh sky." "I know," said Ülgen. There was sadness in his voice. "But humans need you. Mothers need you. Babies need you. You will protect them. You will love them. You will convey my love to them." Umay understood. The task was clear. And she accepted. Since that day, Umay has been on earth, far from the sky, but never far from Ülgen's heart, because the father-daughter bond knows no distance. Fourth, fifth, sixth, children kept coming. Each one different, each one special. One looked to the stars. His name, Yultuz, he became the guardian of stars. Every night he counts them. Every night he ensures they stay bright. Because stars are not just points of light. They are hope. They show direction. They are the guide of the lost. One breathed into the winds. His name, Yel. He became the master of winds. Sometimes he blows gently, rustling leaves. Sometimes he blows powerfully, creating storms. But always he blows for a purpose, to clean the air, to carry clouds, to maintain balance. One gave life to rain. Her name, Yağmur Ana, Mother Rain. She brings fertility, gives water to arid lands, revives plants, fills rivers. Without her, the world becomes desert. Without her, life withers. But she is generous. Every season she comes. Every season she gives. 9 sons, 9 daughters. All together, all for one purpose. To maintain the balance of the universe. To carry out Ülgen's will. To serve humans. "My children," Ülgen would say to them when they gathered and listened, "you are my most precious beings. Without you, I am nothing. Without you, my task is incomplete. That's why I thank you. Every day, every night I thank you." A god thanking his children. Is this strange? Perhaps. But at the same time, beautiful. Because it shows that Ülgen is not arrogant. He is humble. He is grateful. The children work for their father. Not just for duty. For love. Because Ülgen didn't create them just for duty. He created them for love. He looked after them for love. and they reciprocate this love. Now, let me tell you about a day of the 18 siblings, because their daily life is very interesting, very orderly, very divine. Morning comes, or does the concept of morning apply to them? But let's say a beginning moment comes. Kün Ata rises, prepares, gathers his energy, and begins to ascend. Below, on earth, people wake up. They see the sun. Ah, they say, a new day, a new beginning. And they feel hope, because the sun always brings hope. Ata rests in the meantime, sits on his silver throne, closes his eyes. He worked all night. Now he's earned his rest. But he doesn't sleep completely. Just waits half asleep, because in the evening he'll be on duty again. Umay, on earth, at the cribs. Beside mothers, she kisses every newborn baby on the forehead, gives comfort to every crying child. Never tires, because love never tires. Yağmur Ana looks at the clouds. Where should I go today, she thinks. A farmer may have prayed. O Ülgen, O Yağmur Ana, my fields have dried up. Please send water. And Yağmur Ana hears. Directs the clouds that way. Rain falls. The farmer rejoices. God heard me, he says. And he is right. Yell keeps blowing, never stops, because if the wind stops, the air becomes motionless. Motionless air brings disease. That's why yell works constantly, sometimes gentle, sometimes powerful. But always he works. Yultuz checks the stars, sees that one is about to go out, immediately intervenes, sends energy. The star shines again. Thank you, the star says quietly. Without you, I would have gone out. It doesn't matter, says Yultuz. We are family. Families look after each other. Noon comes. Kün Ata at his zenith, his brightest moment. Earth is full of light. Shadows are shortest. Heat is highest. People withdraw to shade, rest a bit. And Kün Ata looks from above. I hope it's not too hot, he thinks. I hope I'm not harming anyone. Because he has a sensitive heart, powerful but gentle. Evening approaches. Kün Ata slowly descends, becomes red at the horizon. The sky is painted with orange and pink colors. People admire this beauty. What a magnificent sunset, they say. But they don't know that this beauty is Kün Ata's farewell. He is saying, see you tomorrow. Have a peaceful night. Ata wakes up, stretches, prepares, and slowly rises. At first, a thin crescent. Then, as days pass, he grows, becomes a full moon, illuminates the sky. Night is not so dark anymore. People can go outside, can walk, can see each other. Midnight, the quietest moment. Most people are sleeping, but some are awake. Night watchmen, travelers, and mothers with their crying babies. Ata looks at them. You are not alone, he says quietly. I am here. My light is with you. And truly, that light gives comfort. Loneliness decreases a bit. Because moonlight is not just light. It is companionship. It is friendship. It is Ülgen's night greeting. Yultuz makes the stars shine, adorns the night's canvas. Each star tells a story. Stories from ancient times. Ülgen's story. Tengri's story. Creation stories. Morning approaches. Ata slowly descends. Good day, my brother, says Kün Ata. Now it's your turn. Thank you, my brother, says Kün Ata. Rest well. And the shift changes. Day chases night, but not hostilely, friendly, fraternally. This cycle never stops. It's been going on for thousands of years, millions of years, and it will continue. It will continue forever. Because the 18 siblings never tire, never give up, never abandon their duty. Why, you might ask? Why do they never tire? Why do they never complain? The answer is simple. Love. They work with love. Love for Ülgen, love for humans, love for the universe, and love gives energy. Love erases fatigue. Love makes everything possible. Ülgen watches his children from the seventh sky and feels proud. I've raised good children, he says to himself. They will surpass me. They will be better than me. And this is the most beautiful thing, for a father to see his children surpass him. But at the same time, there is also a worry. Am I doing enough, he thinks? Am I spending enough time with them? Am I showing enough love? Because Ülgen is a perfectionist. He always wants to do better. Be a better father. Be a better God. Be a better light. One day, he gathers his children. Sit, he says. We need to talk. The 18 siblings gather. They're curious. Father, is there a problem? Asks Ata. No, says Ülgen. Or maybe yes. I don't know. I just want to tell you something. They all listen, quietly, respectfully. I, says Ülgen, am your father. I created you. I gave you tasks, but I never questioned you. I never asked you, are you happy? I never asked, is this the life you want? And this troubles me. The children are surprised. They didn't expect such a conversation. Father, says Kün Ata, we are happy. We are satisfied with our task, because this task is meaningful. We are helping people. We are serving the universe. What could be more beautiful than this? But freedom, says Ülgen, you didn't make a choice. I chose for you. Perhaps you want to do other things. Perhaps you want to just exist without any task. Umay laughs, a light, melodic laugh. Father, she says, freedom is not being without a task. Freedom is being able to choose a meaningful task, and we chose our task. Maybe you gave it to us, but we accepted it. We accepted it wholeheartedly. Ülgen relaxes. Is that so? He says. Are you truly happy? Yes, Father, they all say together. We are happy, because we are loved, because we are valued, because we are a family. Ülgen's eyes well up, or the energy version wells up. Thank you, he says. You are my greatest gift. You are my greatest achievement. The 18 siblings embrace their father, or energetically hug him, all together, a family, a whole. And in that moment, the seventh sky becomes even brighter. Because love is light. Love is brighter than anything. Now, take a deep breath. Hold it. Release it. This moment was beautiful. This moment was special, and you are witnesses. Witnesses to the magnificence of Ülgen's family. If your eyes are closing, it's okay. Let them close. Because this story is infinite. It will continue when you sleep. It will continue in your dreams. It will continue in your heart. Part 4. Erlik and Balance. But every light has its shadow. Every peak has its valley. And in telling Ülgen's story, we cannot pass without mentioning Erlik, because the two are two faces of the same coin. Where one doesn't exist, the other is meaningless. Erlik was the second son, but a very different son. If Ülgen is light, Erlik is darkness. If Ülgen is above, Erlik is below. If Ülgen creates, Erlik takes. But this doesn't make him bad, only different. My brother, says Ülgen, and in his voice is still that warmth from the old days. There are those who think he doesn't understand me. There are those who say he is my enemy. But they are wrong. Erlik is my brother, still my brother, and I still love him. These words are important, because people want to see the world in black and white, good and bad, right and wrong. But the universe is not that simple. The universe is full of shades of gray. The universe is full of nuances. When Erlik descended below, Ülgen narrates, I was sad, very sad, because he was my brother. We had grown up together. We had learned together. We had laughed together. And now we were separating. Think of separating from your closest sibling. Perhaps physical distance, perhaps emotional distance. It hurts. It hurts a lot. But at the same time, Ülgen continues, I understood. He had to go. Because to establish balance, some had to be above, some below, some in light, some in darkness. And Erlik undertook that role. He sacrificed himself for balance. Sacrifice. This is the essence of Erlik's story. He could have stayed above, could have stayed in light, but he didn't choose that. He chose below, he chose darkness, because someone had to do that task. Sometimes, says Ülgen, I look down from the seventh sky, very far down, to the underworld, and I see Erlik, there, sitting on his dark throne, judging the dead, and lonely, so lonely that my heart aches. Two brothers, one at the very top, one at the very bottom, one in the brightest place, one in the darkest place, but both doing the same task, maintaining balance, keeping the universe standing. People, says Ülgen, fear Erlik, think he's evil, but he's not evil. He's just doing a difficult job. Dealing with death is not easy. Caring for the dead is not easy. But someone must do it. And Erlik agreed to be that someone. Now, let me tell you about a meeting between Ülgen and Erlik. Because yes, they still meet. Rarely. But they meet. Once a year, exactly at the point where two worlds intersect, exactly at the moment when balance is established, the two brothers meet. Neither in the seventh sky nor in the underworld, right in the middle. Neither in light nor in darkness, in the gray area. This meeting is considered sacred. No one disturbs them, not even their children, because this is only their time, two brothers' time to confide. How are you, brother? Asks Ülgen. Always starts with the same question. I'm tired, says Erlik. Very tired. The dead never end. Every day new ones come. And I must judge each one. I must listen to each one's story. I know, says Ülgen. I'm tired too. The living never end. Every day new prayers, new requests, new pains, and I try to help each one. The two look at each other and smile with understanding, because they both carry the same burden, the burden of responsibility, the burden of endless duty. Are you happy up there? Asks Erlik. Sometimes, says Ülgen honestly. Most of the time I'm happy. I have my children. They make me happy. But sometimes I feel very lonely, because no one truly understands me. No one knows how heavy this responsibility is. Are you happy down below? Asks Ülgen. Never, says Erlik. He smiles, but it's a bitter smile. But happiness is not my task. My task is to be balanced, to be fair, and this doesn't require happiness, only requires strength. The two sit quietly for a while. Words aren't necessary. Only each other's presence is enough. Only knowing they're not alone is enough. I missed you, says Ülgen finally. I missed you too, big brother, says Erlik. Every day I miss you. But you see, I can't return. I can't return above, because below my task is there, and that task calls me. I know, says Ülgen. I can't descend either. I can't descend below, because above my task is there. But I want you to know that you're always in my heart. Every day, every night, I think of you. I pray for you. Does a god pray for another god? Asks Erlik jokingly. An older brother does everything for his brother, says Ülgen. Being a god doesn't change that. In that moment, Erlik's eyes well up. He hasn't cried for thousands of years. But now he's crying, quietly, because these words touched his heart, because this love melted him. Ülgen embraces his brother. Light and darkness come together. And for a moment, just a moment, they are completely in balance, perfect harmony, perfect unity. Then the time to part comes. It always comes. In a year, says Erlik. In a year, Ülgen confirms. Same place, same time. And they part. Ülgen rises up to the seventh sky. Erlik descends below to the underworld. Both return to their tasks. Both shoulder their burdens again. But now they feel a bit lighter, because they know they're not alone. They have a brother, and that brother understands them. What does this story teach you? Perhaps this. Opposites don't have to be enemies. Opposites can be complementary. Light and darkness, above and below, life and death, all necessary, all valuable, all parts of the great balance. And Ülgen understands this. He doesn't resent Erlik, doesn't blame him, only loves him. Loves unconditionally, because he is his brother, and brotherhood is above everything. Now, rest a bit. This chapter was heavy, emotionally intense. Breathe. Deep, slow. Imagine yourself in the seventh sky, beside Ülgen. He's looking at you, smiling. You're doing well, he says. You're beginning to understand Erlik. You're beginning to understand balance. And this is very important, because life is balance. Extremes are always harmful, but balance is always healing. You're nodding. You understand. You truly understand. And Ülgen is pleased. Shall we continue, he says, or do you want to rest? The choice is yours. Always yours. Because this journey is not forced. This journey is voluntary. And you can stop and rest whenever you want. Part 5. The Shaman's Journey. Now, let me tell you about shamans, because they are Ülgen's closest friends. They are bridges between humans and gods, connecting two worlds, blending two realities. A shaman is not an ordinary person. He is chosen. But chosen by whom? Some say by spirits, some say by ancestors. But the truth is, he is chosen by Ülgen. When I, says Ülgen, look down at earth, I see certain souls, special souls, bright souls. They are different, more sensitive, more open. They can live in both the physical world and the spiritual world. These souls are noticed in childhood. Perhaps they see the unseen. Perhaps they hear the unheard. Perhaps in their dreams they rise to the seven skies. And those around them say, "This child is different. This child has something." When that child grows up, Ülgen continues, I send him a calling. I send a dream. In that dream, he finds himself in the seven skies, in my presence. And I tell him, I have chosen you. You will be a shaman. You will be a bridge between humans and gods. But the calling is not easy. Most refuse at first, out of fear, out of doubt. I can't be a shaman, they say. I'm just an ordinary person. This task is bigger than me. And they're right, says Ülgen. The task is truly big, but they are not ordinary. They are special, and with my help, they can succeed. Those who accept the calling begin training. They learn from a master shaman. They learn to beat the drum, to dance, to sing. But most importantly, they learn to enter a trance state. Trance is the door between the physical world and the spiritual world. As the shaman beats the drum, dances, sings, he slowly approaches that door. His pulse quickens. His breathing deepens. His eyes blur. And one moment, a magical moment, the door opens, and the shaman rises, leaves his body behind. His spiritual body begins to ascend, passes through the first sky, through the clouds, passes through the second sky, through the stars, third, fourth, fifth. At each layer, a challenge. At each layer, a test. Because, says Ülgen, not everyone can ascend to the seventh sky. Only those who deserve it. Only those who are pure. Only those who truly believe. When the shaman reaches the sixth sky, he is tired. very tired. How much longer, he thinks. How much longer will I climb? But then he hears a voice, a familiar voice, a warm voice. Not much left, my child. Just one more layer. Come, I am waiting for you. Ülgen's voice. This voice gives the shaman strength. He finds energy again and makes the final ascent to the seventh sky, into the light, to Ülgen's presence. Welcome, says Ülgen. He always greets with these words. You are brave. You are worthy. You have earned the right to reach here. The shaman falls, or drops to his knees, because Ülgen's presence is overwhelming. So bright, so powerful that standing is almost impossible. Rise, says Ülgen gently. Here, no one kneels. Here, we are all equal. You are my child. I am your father. And children don't kneel before their father. They stand. They stand proudly. The shaman slowly rises, on trembling legs, but rises and looks. For the first time, truly looks at Ülgen, and sees him, in all his majesty, in all his beauty, in all his love. Why did you come? Asks Ülgen. Always asks this question. People, says the shaman, his voice still trembling. They are suffering. There are sick ones. There are hungry ones. There are hopeless ones. I came for them. I came to ask for help. Ülgen smiles. Good reason, very good reason. Tell me, who needs my help? The shaman tells. Counts one by one. Sick child, barren woman, arid fields, lost traveler. He tells each one's story, shares each one's pain. Ülgen listens carefully, never interrupts, because every story is important, every pain is valuable, every prayer deserves to be heard. I understand, says Ülgen finally. I will do what I can. To the sick child, I will send a dream. In his dream, he will see that he will recover, and he will find hope. Hope is the most powerful medicine. D. He will find hope. Hope is the most powerful medicine. To the barren woman, I will send a sign. Maybe a butterfly, maybe a bird. That sign will tell her that the time hasn't come yet, but it will come. Let her be patient. To the arid fields, I will direct Yağmur Ana. She will bring the clouds. Rain will fall. The soil will become fertile again. For the lost traveler, I will ask Ata. He will shine brightly at night. He will show the way, and the traveler will return home. The shaman listens, and his heart fills with gratitude, fills with love. Thank you, he says. Thank you, light giver. Thank you, protector. Don't thank me, says Ülgen. This is my task. Serving humans is my task. But you also help me. You are my hands on earth. You are my voice among people. That's why I thank you. A god thanking a shaman. This shows what humility is. This shows what a different kind of god Ülgen is. Now, says Ülgen, you must return. Your body is waiting for you. If you stay too long, you may not be able to return, and people need you. The shaman understands. Yes, it's time to return. But before leaving, he wants to do one more thing. Ülgen Ana, he says. This is the old form of address. Some shamans call Ülgen Mother, because he is like both father and mother, both protector and nurturer. May I ask something? Ask, says Ülgen. You, says the shaman, why do you help us so much? We are only mortals, short-lived. We should be insignificant in your eyes. But you care about each of us. Why? Ülgen thinks. A long thought, then answers. Because, he says, you are not insignificant. On the contrary, you are the most important. Gods are eternal. We have no beginning or end. But you are limited. You only live a few decades. And precisely because of this, every moment of yours is precious. Every day of yours is precious. Every breath of yours is precious. He pauses, then continues. And you are my children. When Tengri created you, he breathed into you a part of our soul. You are a part of us, and a father never sees his children as insignificant. Even their smallest pain breaks the father's heart. The shaman cries at these words. Tears flow down his cheeks, but these tears are not of sadness. They are tears of gratitude, tears of love. Go, says Ülgen softly. Don't cry, because you are never alone. I am always with you, always watching, always protecting. Go and tell people. Tell them that Ülgen hasn't forgotten them. Ülgen loves them. Ülgen protects them. The shaman is nodding and slowly turning back. Descending. 6th sky, 5th sky, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. And then returning to his body. He opens his eyes. Around him, villagers have gathered. They're waiting with curiosity. Did you see? They ask. Did you see Ülgen? Yes, says the shaman, his voice still trembling. I saw him. He is very beautiful, very bright, and he loves us very much. The villagers rejoice. What did he say? They ask. Did he hear our prayers? He heard, says the shaman. He heard each of you, and he will help. The sick child will recover, rain will fall, the lost traveler will return. Just be patient, and keep believing. People feel hope, because the shaman spoke with Ülgen. The shaman brought assurance, and they believe, deeply, wholeheartedly believe. And truly, within days, things begin to change. The sick child feels his fever dropping, clouds gather in the sky, the lost traveler returns home. Miracle, say the people. Ülgen performed a miracle for us. But Ülgen knows that these are not miracles. They are just the flow of nature, just adjustments of timing, just small interventions. But to people they appear as miracles. And Ülgen allows this, because miracles give hope. Hope gives the strength to survive. Shamans thus become Ülgen's messengers. They ascend, descend, carry messages, convey prayers, bring healing, and each time they change a little, become a little brighter, become a little more divine. But they must be careful, says Ülgen, because power makes the head spin. A shaman can start to think he's a god, and then he falls very hard. That's why Ülgen gives shamans an advice, always the same advice. Stay humble. You are only a mediator. The power is not in you, it's in me. You are only a channel. Water flows through you, but the water is not you. This advice is important, very important, because ego is the greatest enemy. Ego is the greatest obstacle on the spiritual path. Now, let me tell you a story, a true story, from ancient times. Once upon a time, there was a very talented shaman. His name was Kün. Young, powerful, charismatic. He could enter trance state very easily, could ascend to the 7th sky very easily. And Ülgen loved him very much. But Kün slowly began to change. When people admired him, he began to admire himself. I am powerful, he thought. I am special. Perhaps I am a god too. These thoughts were dangerous, because pride is the beginning of the fall. One day, Kün again ascended to the 7th sky, but this time he came with a different attitude, an arrogant attitude. Ülgen, he said, in a disrespectful tone, I no longer need your help. I can give healing on my own. I can perform miracles on my own. Ülgen was saddened, very saddened, but he didn't get angry. He just asked, Do you really think so? Yes, said Kün. You just showed me the way. But I'm the one walking. The power is in me. Ülgen nodded. Then, he said, go, try, do it on your own, and see what happens. Kün returned, proud, confident, and when a sick person came, he tried to give healing on his own. He didn't pray to Ülgen, didn't ask Ülgen for help. only trusted his own power. But nothing happened. The sick remained sick. Kün beat the drum, danced, tried to enter trance state. But the door didn't open. He couldn't ascend to the seventh sky. He just remained in the physical world. People were surprised. "What happened?" they asked. "Why aren't you healing?" Kün panicked. He tried again and failed again, again, again. But he never succeeded. That night, when he was alone, he cried a lot, and understood. The source of power was not himself. The source of power was Ülgen. He was only a channel. And when the channel is blocked, water cannot flow. The next day, he tried to enter trance state again, but this time with humility. "Ülgen Ata," he said, "forgive me. I was arrogant. I made a mistake. Please accept me again." And the door opened. Slowly, but it opened. Kün rose, climbed the seven skies, and came to Ülgen's presence. "Welcome," said Ülgen, as if he had never been angry, as if he had never been hurt. "I missed you." Kün fell to his knees. "Forgive me," he said. "I behaved very foolishly. I forgot you. I thought I was a god." "I know," said Ülgen, "but you learned, and learning is what's important. Everyone makes mistakes, but not everyone learns from their mistakes. You did, and this makes you valuable." "Do you forgive me?" asked Kün. "I had already forgiven you," said Ülgen. "The moment you came here, I had forgiven you, because you returned. You let go of pride. You chose humility, and that is the hardest choice." Kün cried. Tears of gratitude. And from that day on, he never showed pride. He always remembered, power is in Ülgen. He is only a tool, only a channel, only a bridge. This story is a lesson for all shamans. Stay humble, stay faithful, and never forget. You may be special, but you are not God. God is above. You are only a servant. Now, let's take a deep breath. This chapter was also heavy, because pride is a difficult subject. We all have a little pride inside us. But controlling that pride is important, because pride distances us from Ülgen. Humility brings us closer to him. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself in the seventh sky, in Ülgen's presence. He's looking at you, smiling. "You're doing well," he says. "You understood the shaman's story. You understood the importance of humility. And now you're ready for the next teaching. Are you ready? Because we will continue. There are more stories, more teachings, more light, but we're not hurrying. We never do." Part 6. Ülgen's Gifts. Ülgen is a generous god. He doesn't just give light, doesn't just give protection, he also gives gifts. Concrete gifts, spiritual gifts, and these gifts are humanity's greatest treasures. The first gift is fire. Once upon a time, Ülgen recounts, humans lived in darkness, lived in cold. They ate raw meat. At night, they feared animals, and as I watched them, I ached. I ached so much. He consulted with Tengri. "Father," he said, "I want to give humans a gift. I want to give them fire. Will you permit me?" Tengri thought. Fire was a powerful gift, a dangerous gift, because fire both creates and destroys, both warms and burns. "If you give them fire," said Tengri, "you must teach them how to use it, how to control it. Otherwise, they will burn themselves." "I will teach them," said Ülgen. "I promise." And so, one night, Ülgen took one of the stars, a small star, bright but not too big, and brought it down to earth, placed it on the top of a mountain. The star became fire on the ground. Flames rose, red, orange, yellow, dancing flames, living flames. People saw it from afar. They were afraid at first. "What is this?" they asked. "Is this dangerous?" But then a shaman took courage, approached, extended his hand, felt warmth, for the first time such warmth. It was like the sun's warmth, but closer, more controllable. "This," said the shaman, "is a gift from Ülgen." People gathered around the fire, extended their hands, got warm. For the first time, they didn't shiver on winter nights. For the first time, they sat in peace. Then, someone threw meat into the fire, by accident. But the meat cooked, the smell spread, and someone gathered courage, tasted it. "This," he said, eyes wide open, "is amazing, much more delicious than raw meat." And thus humans learned to cook meat, fish, vegetables. Their lives changed. They got sick less. They ate better. They lived longer. "But be careful," warned the shaman, remembering Ülgen's words. "Fire is both friend and foe. Show respect to it. Control it. Never leave it unattended." And people learned. Slowly, carefully, they learned to make fire. They learned to extinguish fire. They learned to live with fire. Ülgen watched from above and was pleased. "Good," he said. "They're using my first gift properly. Now I can give the second gift." The second gift was language, words. "In the beginning," says Ülgen, "humans spoke like animals. They only made sounds, grunts, screams, moans. But there were no words, no concepts, and this limited them." One night, Ülgen sent all shamans the same dream. In the dream, they were in the seventh sky, and Ülgen was speaking, but not just speaking, he was showing words. Each word, a shape, a color, a feeling. "Look," said Ülgen in the dream, "this is water. When you say this word, everyone thinks of water. This is fire. When you say this word, everyone thinks of fire. Words are bridges, bridges between minds." When the shamans woke up, they remembered. They remembered everything. And when they looked at each other, they realized they had seen the same dream. "This is a sign," said the old shaman. "Ülgen is giving us a new gift, the gift of words." And thus language began to develop. Started with simple words: water, fire, sky, earth. Then more complex words: love, fear, hope, dream. With words came stories, because people could now could tell about their ancestors, could tell about their gods, could tell about Ülgen. And stories passed from generation to generation, from tongue to tongue, from mouth to mouth. Thus Ülgen was not forgotten. Thus his teachings lived on. Thus his light continued. The third gift was music. "Words are beautiful," said Ülgen, "but sometimes they're not enough. Sometimes emotions are deeper than words. Sometimes the soul cannot be expressed with words. That's why music is necessary." He taught Kün Ata the night song. He taught birds the morning melody. He taught the wind to whistle. And humans listened to nature's music. Then they began to imitate, began to use their voices in different ways. Low voices, high voices, sad melodies, cheerful melodies. One day, a human made a flute from a tree branch, blew into it. A sound came out. Sweet, thin sound. Like a bird's sound, but different. Man-made. "Look," he said excitedly, "I'm making music." Then came drums. From stretched leather, from carved wood. Rhythm came. Rhythm like a heartbeat. Dance came. The body accompanied the music. And Ülgen watched from above. Smiled. "Good," he said. "They're learning to be creative. They're no longer just consumers. They're becoming creators. And this is the fruit of the greatest gift." Because creativity was Ülgen's greatest gift. He had given humans the power to create like gods. On a small scale, but still the power to create music, to create art, to create stories. The fourth gift was dreams. "Day," said Ülgen, "the physical world rules, but at night the spiritual world rules. and dreams are the bridge between these two worlds. Every night, when people slept, their souls would be freed, would leave their bodies, would wander, sometimes in nearby places, sometimes in distant places, sometimes in the past, sometimes in the future. In dreams, they would talk with dead ancestors. In dreams, they would see their unborn children. In dreams, they would meet with Ülgen. Dreams, said Ülgen, are messages. Messages from me to you. Some are clear, some are coded, but they all carry a meaning. They all give a teaching. Shamans taught dream interpretation. If you see a white horse in your dream, they would say, this is good. It's Ülgen's sign. If you see a black snake, be careful. Erlik is near. But not just shamans. Everyone learned to interpret. Everyone learned to listen to their own dreams. Because dreams were the voice inside, the voice of our soul. Don't take your dreams lightly, Ülgen warned. They are my attempt to speak with you. Listen to them. Try to understand. And put them into practice. Because what you see in dreams will sometimes truly happen. The fifth gift was love. Yes, love was also a gift. Because in the beginning, humans would only be together to survive, to reproduce. But there was no love, no deep bond. This is not enough, said Ülgen. Humans shouldn't just survive, they should live. And to live, love is necessary. He gave a task to Umay. Go, he said to his daughter, and plant the seed of love in people's hearts. Let them love each other, deeply, purely, unconditionally. Umay descended to earth, touched each person's chest, right over their heart, and left a light, a small light, the light of love. And people began to change. They were no longer just together. When they looked at each other, their insides warmed. They smiled, held hands, sang songs to each other. The first love story began this way. A young man saw a girl, and his heart began to beat differently, fast, strong. What is this? He thought. Am I sick? But he wasn't sick. He was in love. He had fallen in love for the first time. He approached the girl, shy, hesitant. You, he said, you are very beautiful. The girl blushed, but smiled. Thank you, she said. I, said the young man, want to be with you, always. Will you accept me? The girl looked at him, looked into his eyes, and saw the same light. Umay's light. She too was in love. Yes, she said, I accept. And the first marriage happened, under Umay's watch, in Ülgen's blessing. Love, said Ülgen, is the strongest bond, stronger than family, stronger than tribe. Because love is a choice. No one can force you to love. You choose to love, and this choice is sacred. But Ülgen also gave a warning. Love is fragile, like glass. You must be careful. Don't betray. Don't lie. Don't be disrespectful. Because once broken, love is hard to repair. And people learned. Slowly, by suffering, but learned. Learned to protect love. Learned to nourish it. Learned to grow it. The sixth gift was art. Humans, said Ülgen, were not created just to live. They were also created to create beauty. Because beauty is divinity. Beauty is my reflection. The first artist drew on a cave wall, with charcoal, simple lines, a deer, a running deer. But those lines were not just lines. There was movement. There was energy. There was life. Others saw it, were amazed. This is wonderful, they said. How did you do it? I don't know, said the artist. I just had charcoal in my hand, and I felt an urge to draw, and I drew. Ülgen had sent that urge, the urge of inspiration, because art is inspiration, inspiration from the gods. Then came sculptures, from stone, from clay, human figures, animal figures, and God figures. The first Ülgen sculpture was simple, arms raised up, reaching toward the sun, face smiling, a gentle, fatherly smile. "This," said the sculptor, "is how I see Ülgen. I saw him in my dream, and I wanted to make it." They placed the sculpture in the center of the village, and every day they came there and prayed, left gifts, milk, honey, bread, gifts for Ülgen. Ülgen saw from above and was moved. "They," he said, "love me. They don't forget me, and this is more valuable than any gift." The seventh gift was hope, the most important gift, the most valuable gift, because without hope, nothing is meaningful. "Humans," said Ülgen, "will experience difficult times. We'll see famine, we'll see war, we'll see loss, and in those times they will want to give up. They will ask, 'Why should I continue? Why should I live?' That's when hope is necessary. Hope will keep them standing. Hope will give them strength. Hope will give them reason." Ülgen planted a small seed of hope in each person's heart, hidden, deep, in a protected place, and that seed never completely died. No matter what happened, no matter what was experienced, that seed survived. In dark days, the seed sprouted. "Maybe," the person would say, "maybe tomorrow will be better. Maybe this difficulty will pass. Maybe I'm stronger than I thought." And that maybe was enough. That small crumb of hope was enough. It made the person live one more day, made them struggle one more day, made them hope one more day. "Hope," said Ülgen, "is my greatest gift, because hope never runs out. It multiplies as you share it. It renews as you use it. Hope is an infinite source." And even today, thousands of years later, that seed of hope is still there, in your heart, in my heart, in everyone's heart. When you experience difficult times, remember Ülgen's gift, remember that seed of hope, and let it sprout, let it grow, let it save you. Because hope is life, hope is light, hope is Ülgen. Now let's pause here, let's breathe. Deep, grateful breath. Because we are the heirs of all these gifts: fire, language, music, dreams, love, art, hope. They're all ours, all products of Ülgen's generosity. Close your eyes and search inside. Search for that seed of hope. Do you feel it? There, in the depths of your heart. Small but inextinguishable, weak but invincible. It's yours, forever yours. Ülgen's gift, the light giver's present. And never, never forget, you are valuable, you are loved, you are not alone. Ülgen is above, in the seventh sky, watching you, protecting you, loving you, always. Part 7. Ülgen's Farewell and Eternal Presence. Now we're coming to the end of our journey, but the end is not really an end, because Ülgen's story never ends. It continues. It continues forever. Night has advanced very far. The moon has reached its highest point in the sky. Stars are at their brightest moments, and you are still here, still listening, still breathing, still existing. "Dear traveler," says Ülgen, and his voice is now very close, almost in your ear. "You have climbed the seven skies. You have listened to my story. You have taken my teachings. And now it's time to return. But before you go, I want to tell you one last thing. You listen. You listen with your entire being. This world," says Ülgen, "is not perfect. It never will be. There is pain, there is loss, there is darkness. But these are not flaws of the world. These are parts of balance. Because light doesn't shine without darkness. Joy doesn't sweeten without sorrow. Life doesn't gain value without death." He pauses, a deep pause, then continues. "When you return there," he says, "you will experience difficulties. You will experience disappointments. But in every difficulty, there is a teaching. In every disappointment, there is an opportunity for growth. Don't forget this. And don't forget, he continues, you are never alone. I am always with you. In every breath, in every heartbeat, in every thought. You are a part of me. I am a part of you. We appear separate, but we are actually one. These words are seeping into you. Deep, very deep. Protect the light inside you, says Ülgen. That small spark, the gift I gave you. In dark moments, look at it. Talk to it. It will guide you. It will bring you home. And be a light to others too, he says. Don't just light your own light. Light others' lights too. Because one candle can light 1,000 candles but loses nothing of its own light. On the contrary, the surroundings become brighter. Now, Ülgen is standing up, or doing the energy version of standing up, and he's coming toward you, very close, breathing distance, or if the concept of breath applies to them. One last gift, he says, I want to give you. You open your hand, or feel like you're opening it, and Ülgen places something in your palm. You can't see what it is, but you feel it. Light, warm, vibrating. This, says Ülgen, is a memory from here, from the seventh sky. It is invisible, intangible, but it is real, very real, and it will always be with you. Whenever you feel lost, he says, remember this memory. Whenever you feel alone, remember this moment. Whenever you think you're in darkness, remember this light. Your eyes well up, one last time. Your eyes have welled up many times tonight. But this is different. This is a farewell tear, a beauty tear, a gratitude tear. Don't cry, says Ülgen softly. Or cry, but not from sadness. Cry from joy, because this is not an end, this is a beginning. You're returning from here different, brighter, stronger, fuller. Ülgen embraces you, and that embrace says everything, says more than any words. There is love, there is pride, there is blessing, there is protection. Go, he whispers in your ear, and live. Live courageously. Live with love. Live with light. And know that in every step I am beside you. And slowly he releases you, pulls back, and you begin to descend. You're leaving the seventh sky. But this time, there's no sadness, only peace. Because you know this separation is temporary. One day you will come again. Perhaps not in this body, perhaps in another form. But you will come. As you pass through the sixth sky, silence wraps around you once more. But it's no longer foreign. It's familiar, friendly. In the fifth sky, the 18 siblings see you off. Goodbye, our sibling, they say. Go safely, and don't forget, we are with you too, always. In the fourth sky, Ata and Kün Ata wave. Silver and golden light perform a farewell dance. In the third sky, white-winged souls sing. A farewell song, but not sad, joyful, a celebration song. As you pass through the second sky, stars burn brighter, as if they're shining especially for you. A greeting, see you again. In the first sky, you take one last breath. You feel the moisture of clouds. You hear the sound of wind. And you smile. Because now, everything looks different. More vibrant, more meaningful, more beautiful. And finally, you return to your body. You open your eyes. Slowly, very slowly. Your room is the same. Your bed is the same. Everything is the same. But you are not the same. There's something inside you. Something warm. Something bright. Ülgen's gift. Ülgen's light. And you know that this light will never go out. For the rest of your life, it will be with you. It will shine in dark moments. It will show direction in lost moments. It will give strength in tired moments. Now, you take one last breath, the deepest breath. You fill your chest completely, and you hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you slowly release it. With this breath, all your tension leaves. All your anxiety leaves. Only peace remains. Deep, pure, uncorrupted peace. Thank you, Ülgen, you whisper. Maybe out loud, maybe silently. It doesn't matter, because he hears. He always hears. And from inside you, from very far away, from the seventh sky, a voice comes. You're welcome, my child. Always. I am here, in the seventh sky, waiting for you, loving you. The story ends here, but actually, it doesn't end, because now your story begins. With Ülgen's light, his hope, his love. You will wake up tomorrow, the sun will strike your face, and you will remember. You will remember this night. You will remember the seven skies. You will remember Ülgen, and that memory will give you strength. The strength to start the day. The strength to face difficulties. The strength to live. Perhaps you'll smile at someone. Perhaps you'll help someone. Perhaps you'll just look up at the sky for a moment and give thanks. And those small moments, those small gestures, will be the spreading of Ülgen's light in the world. Because you are now a light bearer. You are now a bridge between sky and earth, between the divine and the human. People will look at you and ask, why are you so peaceful? Why are you so hopeful? And you will smile. Because, you will say, I listened to a story, a very old, very beautiful story, Ülgen's story, and that story changed me. Perhaps they too will be curious. Perhaps they too will want to listen, and you will tell, in your own words, in your own way. But the essence will remain the same. There is light, there is love, there is hope, and we are all not alone. Now, truly the end. Your eyes are closing, getting heavy, and this is natural. This is beautiful, because sleep is a gift. Rest is a gift. Dreams are a gift. Tonight, perhaps you will see Ülgen again in your dream. Perhaps you will visit the seven skies again. Or perhaps you will just have a deep, restful sleep. In any case, I know that you will wake up tomorrow, fresh, renewed, and a bit more enlightened. May Ülgen protect you. May Umay watch over you. May Ata illuminate your nights. May Kün Ata warm your days, and may the light inside you never go out. Good night, dear traveler. Good night. Good night. Sleep in Ülgen's light. Rest in hope's embrace. Find peace in love's hug, because you are valuable. You are special. You are loved. Always. Forever. And thus the story of the light giver was told once more, as it has been told thousands of times, as it will be told thousands of times more, because some stories never die. They transcend generations, they transcend time, and they live forever in hearts. You too have become part of this story, and now you carry it, inside you, in your heart, in your soul. May the light be with you, always.